Hi everybody, this is Gail at Ladyfingers Sewing Center. I'm getting ready to work on the Eastern Pennsylvania shop hop quilt. So that means that I'm going to be making 12 patchwork blocks. 8 stores are represented in the hop this year, plus we have the free block that you get when you pick up your passport at any participating shop, and also the 3 bonus blocks for which the pattern is included in the passport, and of course Ladyfingers will have kits for those as well. So there's conventional directions in each of the patterns that you get with your kits, but since we're an Accuquilt dealer and I love my Accuquilt cutter, I'm going to use it to construct as many of the blocks in the Eastern Pennsylvania shop hop as possible. So I thought, well, let's share it with you so that you can see just how we figure out how to know what dies to use instead of using a rotary cutter for everything. So this block I'm doing right now is from Pocono Sew and Vac. This is their block, and all of the blocks finish at 12 inches. Because we know that, it makes it a lot easier to know which dies to use. You never have to add 7/8 of an inch seam allowance or 1 1/4. There's no math, there's no computer to this machine. It's really fun and easy to use. So you can see that with this 12-inch finished block, if you look at it closely, you can see that it's actually a 9-patch variation, and that means there are 3 units across and 3 units down. You can see the 4 patches in each of the corners, and then you can see the chisel block, the the pointy chisel blocks in the centers, and then finally a center square. Now, since we know it's 12 inches, each one of these units will finish at 4 inches, right? So 4, 8, 12. That's your 12-inch block. That means that since the 4-patch finishes at 4 inches, we know that we need 2.5-inch squares cut to create a 4-inch finished 4-patch. Likewise with the chisel block, we know this will finish at 4 inches square. So this will be 2.5, this chisel will be 2.5 cut by 4.5 cut, and we have a die for that, and then we have a 2-inch half square triangle that sews onto the end of it. And then finally, it's simply a 4-inch finished square that's in the middle. So all of these dies come from the 8-inch cube, all right, because the 8-inch cube has 2-inch finished and 4-inch finished shapes in it. So to start off, we have the first die, which would be the 4-inch finished center square, is die number 1 from your 4-inch, or rather from your 8-inch cube. So this square will be cut at 4.5 inches and finish at 4 inches. That's our center. Then we have a number of triangles. There's 8 triangles in the background color that are cut to be finishing at a 2-inch half square triangle. So the die for that is number 5 from the 8-inch cube. Okay? Then we have squares. The squares create the 4 patches in all 4 corners of the block, and there are 4 squares. You can see that the blades are embedded in the foam, so it's hard to see on camera, but there are actually 4 squares here, and this is die number 2 from the 8-inch cube. And finally, the chisel block. So instead of cutting out rectangles and cutting out squares and drawing a line down the middle and all that stuff, you can simply cut your shapes exactly the right size with the Accuquilt cutter. This chisel die is from the Cube Companion, and it is die number 9. So this is from the Cube Companion corners, and this shape will finish that size exactly. Okay, so let's get cutting. We can start off with the center square, and that uses the blue batik. Very simple, very easy. I'm simply going to line this up, but I only need 1. Remember, the Accuquilt cutter can cut up to 6 layers of fabric at a time. I've been saying 8 so many times today. All right. So I simply put the fabric in, cut it, and that quickly I have my perfect 4.5-inch square that will finish at 4 inches when it's sewn together. Next, let's do the chisels. Now, we need 4 purple, and 4 light purple and 4 dark purple, and you can see I fan folded the 4 light purple, so 4 layers of fabric are going on here. I just check to make sure that my fabric is past the blades on the die. Put the mat on top, and of course we want to watch our grain line. You want the straight of grain to go into the machine. And that quickly, we have 4 chisels completely cut like that. Isn't that great? And look, no waste. Next, we have the 4 dark purple. And this time I get to show you how I fan fold. So I just want to make sure I'm past the blade line. And then I simply take my fabric and fold it back and forth because I want 4 layers, 4 chisels I should say, from each of the purple fabrics. Did I get 4? 2, yep, there's 4. Double check. And the good news is you get plenty of fabric in your kit. So if you make a boo-boo, you'll be all right. And that's our chisel. We're almost done, believe it or not. Look at that. Okay, so there's our other 4 chisels. Now we're going to be cutting our background, and these are squares. So we're going to need 2, 4, 6, 8 background in the beige. It's kind of a peachy color, really. So because I can cut, there's 4 squares on this die, I only need 2 layers to create 8 squares. Just like that. And I could have cut them both at the same time, actually. I could have cut both the beige and the blue at the same time. I would have had enough room to do that because I can cut up to 6 layers at a time. And then we have our blue fabric. Same idea. So we can just keep going from over here. This way. Make it a little easier. And that's it. I have all of my shapes ready to sew into the block. I'll be showing you all 12 blocks for the Shop Hop, the Eastern Pennsylvania 2021 Shop Hop blocks as I go along. We'll film how we cut them out so that you can do that too. That's it for now. Thanks for watching.